and soil management, etc., etc. The ECWAS Girls and Boys of Excellence, providing scholarship for needy and disadvantaged both brilliant boys and girls from slum areas in specialized technical and professional education in Liberia. The program currently has about 60 beneficiaries attending various technical institutions. The ECWA Fistula program funds support women and girls suffering from obstetric fistula in Liberia we call women's sickness. The fund support focuses on provision of surgery, social mobilization, and economic empowerment intervention. The Fistula fund is distributed between the Ministry of Health to the Phoebe Hospital, a government-owned hospital, and the Women of Africa to the Catholic Hospital, a private hospital owned by the Catholic Diocese of Liberia. Surgery. Currently, approximately 269 women have benefited from surgery interventions, including 6 medical surgical missions into Liberia. Training. 200 midwives and nurses receive training in technical and practical training on pregnancy control, childbirth, and different pathologics, with specific emphasis on physical and metallurgical characteristics of women at risk of obstetric labor. Prevention. Timely access to obstetric emergency services and skilled health personnel are key to eradicating obstetric fistula. Additionally, there were 17,654 consultations along with 4,206 births under review. The 50 Women Program.
Programme 50 femmes.
Funds support as part of the sensitization campaign on women, peace and security, component of ECWAS conflict prevention framework. The ECWAS radio program, ECWAS and you. Since the turning over of the United Nations Mission in Liberia radio station to ECWAS radio, the national office, in collaboration with the ECWAS Special Representative and the ECWAS Liberian Parliament, organized a continuous weekly radio program named ECWAS and You.
Organise une émission hebdomadaire appelée CDAO et vous.
That brings together stakeholders implementing ECWAS programs, activities, and projects to share the experiences or the impact, challenges, prospects of those programs. The National Platform on Migration and Development. The draft concept is currently before the Honorable Minister in charge of ECWAS Affairs for his perusal, input, and approval before final submission to the legislature. The National Platform seeks to highlight the automatic free movement of citizens from region while ensuring their safety and happiness. The National Center for the Collaboration for the Coordination of Response Mechanism, early warning. A 5-year program between the United States government, represented by ECWAS, and the Republic of Liberia to provide critical alert information and coordinate government response for immediate intervention. The program is, however, having some financial hiccups due to the fact that the United States government and the ECWAS Commission have not totally honored the MOU signed for the support of the center, consistent payment of salaries and other obligations yet to be fulfilled. Community level protocol.
Protocole de la CEDEAO sur le prélèvement communautaire.
Liberia, since the inception of the new administration, has made a payment of $500 million United States against it every year. There is strong commitment from the government to pay all of it every year, estimated around $3.9 million before the first quarter of 2019. Political situation. Peaceful demolition of missing $16 billion Liberian dollars and intervention by the government. Following successful transition of power from one democratically elected president to the other, Liberia can safely boast of a stable political order An example of such peacefulness was evidenced by a peaceful demonstration in which citizens converged on the principles to the Monrovia, demanding accountability and transparency in an ongoing investigation into alleged financial misappropriation of public funds of missing 16 billion Liberian data brought into the country. The government acted very swiftly and maturely as it assigned members of the national police and ambulances to guide and protect the demonstrators, while serving them water and other non-alcoholic beverages to restore the lost energy. At the end of the demonstration, the demonstrator presented a resolution to the international community, the UN, AU, and ECOWAS, at the UN office in Monrovia, seeking the international community intervention to compel the government to bring our money back, and alleged missing money. However, in two separate official statements from the government, through the Minister of Finance and Development Planning on the one hand, fiscal arm of government, and the governor of the Central Bank of Monrovia, monetary arm of government, the government has categorically denied claim that 16 billion have been missing from the country's coffers. Additionally, the government, through the Minister of Justice, has set up an investigative committee to further ascertain the authenticity of any missing money. The government assured that all monies printed and brought into the country and deposited into the coffer of the central bank since 2014, 2015, up to 2018 can be accounted for by the central bank. The government has also brought the assistance. The government also sought the assistance of the FBI to the U.S. government to further assist in the probe. The President, His Excellency George Manawia, has asked Liberians who are considered as persons of interest in the investigation to fully cooperate with the investigation team. The various investigations are currently ongoing, and the findings are expected soon, and we will bring you up to speed with it. Holding of by-elections. The government was able to boast. The government was to host two by-elections in Montserrado and Bon counties to replace former Senator George Manawia, now President, and former Senator Jua Howard Tito, now Vice President, respectively in the 2017 general election. Thus, Honorable Sir A. Joseph was elected as Senator of Montserrado County, while Honorable Henrik Tupa was elected as Senator of Bon County as well, replacing President George Weah and Vice President Jua Howard Tito. Also, there are two pending by-elections that have been fully funded by the government of Liberia and slated for November 20th, 2018. These elections come as a result of the election of former Montserrado County District Number 13 Representative Sai Joseph as Senator replacing Senator George Manawia, who is now President. While the vacancy in Sano County, one was a result of nomination of Senator Joseph Nangwe to the Supreme Court bench as Associate Justice, replacing Justice A. Zerbi Banks, who has honorably retired. Councillor Joseph Nambo was the former senator. Joint consultative meeting, government and opposition political party. On the other hand, the government had a consultative meeting with official opposition political parties, civil society heads, and religious leaders to solicit views in addressing current reality which faces the nation. In that dialogue, the President assured those leaders of the government commitment and willingness to integrate their views in the government of national policy framework, security/refugee situation in the region. Besides minor instances of security breaches involving criminal activity, the country faces no imminent threat or danger from within or without. The national security apparatus continue to demonstrate gallantry over the state of affairs in providing security for its citizens and foreigners as well. Also, besides sporadic report of illegal encroachment by illicit farmers, hunters, and minor from Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Ivory Coast. No serious incidents of influx of refugees have been reported during this reporting period, which is the clear evidence that the Manara Basin is in dike. Status of implementations equals macroeconomic development, level of achievement of convergence criteria, macroeconomic development. The macroeconomic policy thrust of Liberia during the year under review is based on promoting inclusive economic growth and reducing poverty, consistent with the government's pro-poor agenda for prosperity and development. Real GDP growth is projected at 3.0% in 2018, slightly higher than 2.5% attained in 2017, largely driven by increased activities in the secondary sector, mainly led by industrial gold production, a marginal rise in output in the agriculture and forestry subsectors. Inflationary pressure heightened during the first half of 2018. Inflation in the period rose to 24.6% from 10.8% in the corresponding period of the previous year. Similarly, average inflation rose to 20.0% from 12.4% during the review period. Non-food component led by transportation was the main driver of inflation, fueled by increases in petroleum prices and depreciation of the Liberian dollar. Overall government fiscal operation recorded an expansion in the budget deficit to 3.4% of GDP in the first half of 2018, from a deficit of 0.9% of GDP in the corresponding period of 2017, largely due to shortfalls in the tax and non-tax revenues, as well as the upsurge in wages and salaries. Total revenue and grants, representing 15.2% of GDP, contracted by 13.7% to US $252.7 million in the first half of 2018, from US $292.8 million in the corresponding period of 2017, due to average terms of trade, depreciation of the Liberian dollar, decline in real income induced by high inflation. Total expenditure plus net leading grew by 2.2% to US $308.6 million from US $301.9 million in the first half of 2017. This development was underpinned mainly by the 7.3% rise in recurrent expenditure that emanated largely from the huge rise in expenditure on wages and salary due to recruitment of staff in health, education, and security sector. The total debt stock increased by 18.1% in the first half of 2018 to US $1,002.5 million from US $849.0 million due to rising multilateral debt and borrowing from domestic financial institutions. However, in terms of GDP, it falls to 3.2% from 40.1% in the corresponding period of the previous year. The monetary policy thrust remains the maintenance of peace stability through raw exchange rate stability. Raw money year on year grew by 35.4% to Liberian dollar 95.801.2 million at end of June 2018, from Liberian dollar 70.732.0 million in the corresponding period of 2017, mainly driven by an expansion of net domestic assets (NDA). Reserve money expanded by 39.1% during the period under review, compared to a contraction of 10.6% at end of June 2017, mainly due to increase in bank reserves. Credit to the private sector increased by 41.7% during the review period, compared to 40.9% in the previous period. The overall balance of payments recorded a deficit, which narrowed to US 79.2 million, which is 4.9% of GDP in the first half of 2018, against a deficit of US 84.9 million, which is 8% of GDP in the same period of 2017, largely occasioned by the improvement in capital and current accounts. Gross external reserve declined by 5.2% to US 382.6 million at the end of June 2018, from US 408.5 million at the end of June 2017. Similarly, in terms of months of impact covered, it falls to 3.2 at the end of June 2018, from 3.3 at the end of June 2017. The decline in gross external reserves was due to the increased intervention by the central bank, which helped in moderating the exchange rate volatility. Liberian dollar depreciated by 33.27% in the first half of 2018 to Liberian dollar 150.77 to $1 US, from 113.3 to US $1 in June 2017 due to high demand for foreign exchange. Startup of macrofinance convergence. Liberia performance on the primary convergence scale was maintained at 2 in the review period, representing a performance score of 50%. The country certified gross external reserve and central bank financing criteria, but slipped to budget deficit and inflation criteria. On the secondary convergence scale, the country met one criteria, public debt GDP ratio, as in the previous period. See Annex Table 2 and 3 in front of you. Medium-term macroeconomic outlook. Liberia economy is expected to remain on the increasing growth trajectory in the medium term on account of restoration of business confidence and customer sentiment reading on the blueprint of the proposed Popo Agenda for Development and Prosperity. GDP growth in 2018 is projected to reach 3.0% and gradually rise to 4.5% and 4.8% in 2019 and 2020 respectively, largely due to expected improvement in macroeconomic climate and strengthening of investment-friendly policy, as well as expansion of mining and cleaning coal in particular, and policy to encourage financing to the agriculture, critical infrastructure, energy manufacturing, subtraction in order to boost domestic production. Inflationary pressure remains in sight in the medium term, with inflation projected to remain in double digit at 20.40% in 2018, 24.5% in 2019, and 20% by 2020. Premise on inflation persistence, the accelerated depreciation of the Liberian dollar and its path to inflation, although ongoing reform in tax administration, including excess law and custom code, are expected to boost revenue performance. Increasing expenditure pressure will persist, keeping the fiscal operation in deficit averaging 5.2% in the medium term. Macroeconomic convergence outlook. On the macroeconomic convergence front, the country is expected to achieve and maintain 2 of the 3 primary criteria by end December 2018, 2019, and 2020. Policy harmonization and institutional framework, single currency. In 2018, Liberia continued to make progress in the implementation of regional integration, commitments, and policy harmonization program within the framework of the ECOWAS single currency program. Trade integration, ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme. The implementation of the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme continue during the review period under the aegis of the National Approval Committee. The number of registered companies on the scheme stood at 8, while 3 applications remain pending. The NEC is about to be reconstituted. However, key challenges affecting the effective implementation of the scheme include verification of the certificate of origin on the real-time basis and difficulties in completion of the application form, especially in the calculation of the value addition component product. There is also need for sensitization and training of members of the National Approval Committee, that is the NEC, ECOWAS Common External Tariff. The Common External Tariff was adopted in 2017, but it has not yet been fully executed. A 4-year migration plan is being implemented. This implementation will subsequently lead to the full adoption of it. Free movement. The country continues to comply with the ECOWAS Protocol on free movement of people, right to reside and establish. The ECOWAS Common Passport has been adopted. Visa-free movement of community citizens continue and observed. And 90-day stay without resident permit implemented. A national biometrics identity card was rolled out in the review period. With a total of 176 entry points in Liberia, of which 46 are formal, effective profiling of people moving in and out of Liberia is being challenged by emerging influx of illegal minors from other countries of the region and human trafficking, as highlighted in the page prior to this. ECOWAS quality and standard. The country is implementing a national quality policy and quality infrastructure within the framework of the ECOWAS standard harmonization model. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry has a national standard laboratory for testing, measuring, and calibrating of products to ensure quality and safety. Payment system development. The payment system infrastructure, which comprises the real-time gross settlement, automated check processing, automated clearinghouse, and scriptless security settlement system, remain operational during the period. An automated check processing and automated clearinghouse system, which is used to electronically process checks deposited at the various commercial banks, remain in operation during the period. You see the annexes and the appendix. We go to page 14, which is status of implementation of the ECOWAS infrastructure and transport policy program. Page 14. I guess we are there now. On infrastructure and transport, Lideria has made significant progress as it has secured funding for the pavement of the Lugatour-Danane Trans-Regional Highway and Danale's Ivory Coast, Lugatour-Liberia, linking Ivory Coast and Liberia, with a modern broad post expected to be constructed along that route, with the aim to facilitate trade and commerce. The border post is expected to be there. Also, the Hapon-Fishtown Highway, as well as the Kabana River Danane Trans-Regional Highway are nearing completion, while fundings for the construction of the Ganta-Fishtown Highway has also been sourced. That is the border between Liberia and La Côte d'Ivoire. Meanwhile, the new terminal at the Rabat International Airport in Magibi is expected to be inaugurated and dedicated this December of 2018. Sensitization activities carried out by Parliament. The ECOWAS Parliament, as you are aware, in conformity with its activity program of 2018, which aimed to strengthen regional integration, undertook 2 major delocalized sensitization meetings in Liberia. The meeting of the Joint Committee on Communication, Information, Technology, Committee on Labor, Employment, Youth and Sports, Culture, Committee on Education, Science and Technology. August 28,
Du 28
September 1st, 2018, the Parliament organized an all-inclusive and participatory meeting of its Joint Committee on ICT, Labor, Employment, Youth and Sport, Education, Science and Technology. Theme of the meeting, contribution to ICT, to the regional integration process, start-up of implementation, challenges and prospects of an ECOWAS community radio and television station. The meeting objectives were characterized as general and specific. The general objective focused on enabling the MPs to take ownership of the ECOWAS policy in the era of ICT. The specific objectives focused mainly on identifying the possibilities of using ICT to achieve economic integration goal in the region. Consider the status of implementation, challenges and prospects of the community radio and television stations in order to promote regional integration through information, dissemination, training, sensitization, education of its community citizens. The joint meeting, which was attended by the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker and MPs of the ECOWAS Parliament, Speaker of the Liberian House of Representatives, and graced our former President, Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and the current Vice President, Her Excellency Madam Joawa Taylor, achieved its noble outcomes. Help MPs determine the start of implementation, challenges and prospects of the community radio and television stations, and give them a greater outlook to take ownership of the radio stations as they pledge their commitment by assisting to identify funds for its sustainability, fact-finding and awareness mission on the effective implementation on the protocol relating to free movement of persons, right of residence and establishment. September 28, 30, 2018. The Parliament organized a very successful fact-finding and awareness mission that involved the participation of government officials and other working in the relevant national structure, as well as civil society actors, traditional leaders, border personnel, Liberia, Sierra Leone border, Liberia, Guinea border, and the general population from each country. The delegation was led by Honorable Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, along with all members of the Liberian MPs to the Parliament. The head of delegation, Honorable E. Melvin Snow, along with the ECOWAS Parliamentary Deputy Speaker, Honorable Prince Johnson. The mission objectives center on monitoring the progress of implementations of the ECOWAS protocol relating to free movement of persons, goods and services, residents and establishment. The core principle is entry, resident and establishment. The border visitation included a guided tour of our border town, massive consultative section with ECOWAS citizens at the border and other key stakeholders, as well as interviews and interactions with the general population in observance of the core principles relating to the free movement of protocol, border security, trade, commerce, etc. Conclusion. Liberia is committed to the achievement of the ECOWAS Vision 2020, which focuses primarily on the ECOWAS of people. Instead of being a new government, the current president of Liberia, who is also a former member of the ECOWAS Parliament, we are aware, is aware of the numerous challenges facing the regional body, which range from administrative, finance, economic to social, as well as culture. However, with the level of outstanding leadership being demonstrated by the ECOWAS, Liberia remains supportive of all regional initiatives. Obrigado. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.